Welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, to another very exciting episode of Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales 101. So right off the bat, we have received a buttload of brand new information regarding this game and interesting insights as to what we can fully expect from this franchise going forward. We also have a much better perspective as to what we can expect within the final game and even what the developers are currently working on alongside of this extremely exciting title. But in short, this news just got me even more excited for the game than I was before, and it got me even more pumped to see where the future of this franchise goes. So coming directly from the Insomniac games and PlayStation Twitter pages, they decided to provide a full-on deep dive breakdown about the specific trailer that was revealed for Miles Morales PS5 and shed a little bit more light on the matter in regards to exactly what type of game this is. So as Insomniac posted online, we share more about Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, the new standalone game in the Marvel's Spider-Man universe. And with that link going directly to the PlayStation blog website, which I will indeed leave as a link within the description below if you do want to check it out for yourself, we not only received a brand new behind the scenes trailer about the game with some really awesome concept art of Miles Morales swinging right next to Peter Parker in the advanced suit in full glory, but the article itself also gives out a lot more exciting information which I'm sure will hype up even the most cautious of fans. And to start off the article with some truly groundbreaking news, the creative director of Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales is not the same creative director who made Spider-Man PS4.
Hell no.
Like we already know in this matter, especially for myself personally, is that Brian Intihar was the primary creative director of Marvel's Spider-Man on PlayStation 4. But this time around, we actually have Brian Horton, who is the primary creative director of Miles Morales PS5. And don't worry for anyone out there who's wondering why Brian Intihar isn't the creative director for this project, we will break down as to why a little bit later. But for now, this article was directly written by Brian Horton himself, and he goes and states the following. Hi, I'm Brian Horton, creative director at Insomniac Games. Last week, we were so thrilled to introduce you to the beginning of your Marvel's Spider-Man journey on PlayStation 5, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. This standalone game lets players experience the rise of Miles Morales as he discovers new powers that set him apart from his mentor, Peter Parker. The reaction we received last week was nothing short of incredible, but we wanted to take a little bit of extra time to talk about the game and the trailer you saw and point out some things you might have missed. At Insomniac Games, we've loved the character of Miles Morales for a long time. It started years ago when Brian Intihar, who was the creative director of Marvel's Spider-Man, suggested that we should have Miles Morales be a part of the same universe as Peter Parker. We sneakily introduced him at the end of our E3 2017 demo, surprising the audience when they thought the PlayStation briefing was over. As we continued with the Marvel's Spider-Man universe, we knew that Miles' origin story as a Spider-Man was something that needed its own game. Miles' multicultural background reflects a more modern, diversive world, and we wanted to give players a new story with new set pieces, fresh villains, and unique quests across Marvel's New York City. This had to be a can't-miss next adventure in the Marvel's Spider-Man universe. So not only are we going to receive a completely brand new and original story surrounding solely on Miles Morales' character, but we're also going to experience some incredible brand new set pieces with the power of the PS5, interact in a variety of brand new side quests that we can partake in within New York City, and face off against some truly exciting new villains within the overall Insomniac Spider-Man universe. Now, whether or not Insomniac means that we're going to see completely new villains that have never been shown before in the comics is still a bit of an unknown. But considering how we only got fully comic book related characters within Spider-Man PS4, I do think the same standard will apply for Miles Morales PS5. And considering the footage that we did receive within the trailer itself, I do think there are some slight indications as to who we can expect appear within this game. But if you do want to learn more about that with my thoughts, I will save that for another video at a later time. But to continue with the article itself, we do have a lot more information surrounding the overall narrative that the game is going to feature. And as the article states, let's set the scene for the game a little more. It's now winter time, about a year after the events of the first game. Marvel's New York is covered in snow, and just before Christmas break, a war between an energy corporation and a high-tech criminal army has broken out. Miles' new home in Harlem is at the heart of the battle. Now, we were already able to explore Harlem Harlem within Spider-Man PS4, but I am completely sure that they have done an absolute graphical overhaul for the entire city within Miles Morales PS5. And if I had to guess as to who exactly the Energy Corporation and high-tech criminal army that they are talking about could possibly be, my main theories as of right now is that it could relate to that of Roxxon Corporation as well as Oscorp Industries. Especially considering how high-tech these new enemies appear to be, it would only make sense that they receive their equipment from someplace with a lot of resources. But still, we'll just wait and see as to exactly who these enemies are at a later time. And to continue with the article once more, we know a lot of you want to know how big this game is. Our team at Insomniac has been working incredibly hard to bring you a fantastic Miles Morales adventure since we concluded development on Marvel's Spider-Man. You'll experience a full story arc with Miles, one that's more akin to a game like Uncharted: The Lost Legacy in terms of overall scope. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales is an important, heartfelt, emotional, and essential experience to expanding the Marvel Spider-Man universe, and we hope it'll be for you as well. So just knowing that Insomniac directly started production on Miles Morales PS5 immediately after they finished development on Spider-Man PS4 is absolutely mind-boggling to me. This would also mean that Insomniac started development on this game before they were actually bought directly by Sony Interactive Entertainment as part of their worldwide studios lineup. But just seeing how incredible the game already looks firsthand with initial footage debuting on the PS5 just makes me even more excited to see what the final version of the game could look like come launch. And speaking of the PS5, we are also excited for the game to demonstrate the power of the PlayStation 5 this holiday. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales will show off near instant loading, ray tracing, 3D audio, and the DualSense controller. We've upgraded our characters with 4D scans and improved skin shading for more realistic looking characters and spline-based hair that moves far more naturally. Many of the city's assets have also been updated to take advantage of the new console. As you experience Miles' story, you'll see, hear, and feel things in a whole new way, all thanks to PS5. So if you're someone like me who thought Spider-Man PS4 already looked incredibly visually stunning on its own, I literally cannot wait to see what the final game is going to look like in incredible 4K detail completely rendered on the PS5. But here's where we get to the most interesting statement from this article, which directly relates to exactly what the previous creative director of Spider-Man PS4, Brian Intihar, is currently working on. So as it goes on to say, it's been amazing to be creative director on Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, working with such an incredible team. I joined Insomniac near the end of Marvel's Spider-Man, and being able to collaborate with our team and Marvel to create a new story and experience all around Miles Morales has been a career highlight. It's been great to also work with Brian Intihar, who directed the first game, as he continues to imagine big things for the Marvel's Spider-Man universe. So right from the get-go, while we know that Brian Horton is currently the main creative director of this standalone title of Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, based on the specific wording that Horton provides within this quote, this tells me that Brian Intihar is still currently working on the future of the Marvel Spider-Man universe, with most likely the official sequel to Spider-Man PS4 with that of Marvel's Spider-Man 2. So seeing that Insomniac Games is most likely currently working on 3 separate titles all at once, with that of Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and the most likely inevitable sequel of Marvel's Spider-Man with that of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, I just personally find this absolutely insane, but I am just beyond hyped as a fan of both of these incredible franchises. And I for one just can't wait to see where they take the story for both these franchises in the future. And speaking of the story, to wrap up the article with some truly exciting info for anyone who might have been worried about the fate of Peter Parker, they fully addressed that right off the bat. Oh, and one last thing. Many of you fans have wondered if Peter Parker is okay. Don't worry, we still have much of Peter's story left to tell, but this game is all about Miles, a critical part of our Spider-Man universe, and you won't want to miss what happens. Thank you so much for the incredible reaction to our game last week, and for all of the kind words on social media. We're so looking forward to getting to spend more time with you in the coming months to reveal more of the game we've all been working on. We can't wait to see you swinging through a wintry Marvel's New York City this holiday. For all the latest, be sure to follow Insomniac Games on Instagram and Twitter. And after reading this entire article, everyone, not only am I even more hyped for this game than I was before, but I just have to give huge props to Insomniac for going above and beyond for creating a truly immersive and insanely passionate Spider-Man experience. Seeing that this game is indeed going to be a complete launch title with that of the PlayStation 5 come holiday 2020, with the completely completely revamped gameplay mechanics and overall graphic style that the game will feature, while adding a completely new and original story with that of Miles Morales. This is going to be an incredibly special game for so many people. And if Spider-Man PS4 is any inclination as to what we can expect coming from this game, I think it's safe to say that we are in completely good hands. Because if there's anything that I learned ever since the announcement of Spider-Man PS4, I know full well and good that it is simply in Insomniac we trust. And with all that said, everyone, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about all this news pertaining directly to Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, and which aspect about the game are you hyped for the most? Even though I am literally beyond hyped for Miles Morales PS5, just learning that Insomniac directly stated that the overall story that they are going to tell for Peter Parker is not over yet, and in fact will be continued at a later time, just makes my inner fanboy of the character of Peter Parker go insanely crazy with hype. But until the next news update, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans. Be sure to like the video and subscribe if you did enjoy, and peace out.
Well, the trailer you've seen is just the tip of the iceberg. We have a lot more to share in the coming months. And from all of us Insomniac Games, please take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
How do you respond to that?
I didn't see it, so I don't know.